Yeah, I just want to talk about politics real quick. Not global politics, not national politics, not even state politics. I want to focus on city politics and city government. Uh, I recently attended the monthly West End Ministers and Leaders Breakfast that's hosted by Texas City Police Chief Robert J. Burby. It was founded 6 years ago by said Chief Burby and my father, Reverend James Daniels, founder of the Eagle's Nest. And what it is monthly members of the community, along with ministers and leaders in the community, meet with the Texas City Police Chief, various representatives of the police department, sergeants, assistant chiefs, you name it, lieutenants. But it's not just a meeting between the Texas City Police Department, and it's not just a meeting between the Texas City Police Department and the citizens and the leaders and ministers. It's gotten to the point to where political officials, city commissioners, those running for city commissioner spots, people, councilmen and women who are in charge of certain districts, in certain districts. I've seen the district attorney there. I've seen the mayor there. I've seen the mayor pro tem there. I've seen them from both sides, from Texas City and Lamar. In fact, my father, Reverend James Daniels, founders of the Eagle's Nest, he's also orchestrated monthly meetings with the Lamar Police Department. It hasn't been going on as long as the one with Texas City, so it hasn't reached the magnitude of the ones with Texas City, but it's growing, it's on the way. And so I plan on giving a more fuller recap of that meeting to explain to y'all how this thing is going. But in particular, this video where I say I want to just talk about politics a little bit, it's just going to be real brief. But what I want the general public to understand, the people that listen to my channel, people that listen to me, one thing you guys know about me, I can be very vocal, right? Back in 2014, me and my brother led a march on the Texas City Police Department. We've done intellectual battle with members of the Galveston County Daily News, other members of the police department, city officials, various city officials that we had cause to disagree with. We've never backed down from voicing our opinion on the things that we feel like will make this community better. But what I want people to understand is the reason why you do things like march and protest, right? And go to these areas and voice your concern forcefully, right? Is because I, as well as my brother, always understood the concept that unbeknownst to you, or maybe known to you, right? But you just haven't acted on it, or maybe you have. I don't want to make it seem like it's only a handful of people that's actually in the field. But what you have to understand is there's always going to be meetings, and there are always going to be people who make the decisions that affect your life as the citizen. You live in these cities, you pay taxes in these cities, your children go to school in these cities, you patronize the businesses in these cities, and you have to understand that these cities are run by city government. Government and politics is the system by which society is controlled, society is ran. Any grievance that you have, be it rampant crime in your neighborhood, or a pothole that hasn't been fixed, joblessness, inadequate housing, all of those issues are issues that are designed to be taken care of through the process set up by your local government. And there are individuals in charge of various districts. They are in charge of various areas. The city just broke down into districts, and you have individuals in charge of these districts who are in charge of making sure that certain things within those districts get taken care of. And it is those people who we are, as the citizens, are supposed to address our problems to. Now, if they are not properly addressing our issues, then that is when in mass and as one mighty fist, we go to the polls and we get them out of office. These are elected officials. And so what I want the people to understand is, when I marched on the Tech City Police Department, when I wrote my letters, when my brother marched on the police department, when we made our videos, we were doing these things because on a whole we felt ostracized from the table. And by table, I mean the individuals sitting at the table making the decisions for the lives of the citizens. We felt as if we needed a seat at the table. Right? So once you get a seat at that table, you present your agenda, you push your agenda, and you put the people in power that you feel will help you push your agenda, and you improve the life of yourself, your family, and your community as large, because you are moving as a community. Case in point, I ran into Deanne Haney. Okay, a lot of y'all may know her, and I'm using her name because it's kind of in the media now because of that unfortunate situation where 2 individuals lost their lives that night. But a lot of you know who Deanne Haney is. And a lot of you know, and a lot of you don't, know that Deanne Haney is a direct descendant of a former mayor. And Deanne Haney has ideas and goals to eventually become mayor of Texas City. But right now, she's running for city commissioner. I believe it is. I'm going to have to look it back up, but I believe that's the official title that she's running for. But I was reading in the Post about some of the things that she was standing on. And just to make you all aware, just think about this. Some of the platform that she is standing on is that she believes that there should be a police substation and a police fire station on the west side of Texas City. And maybe they could share one building. Not to say that's good or bad, right or wrong. I'm just saying these are the kind of decisions that are on the table for somebody with her position, right? And she also is running on the platform to where she basically feels like there should be more communication between the citizens and the city officials to better meet their needs. And for the past like 10 years, I believe it said in the Post, she's been on the city the city building plan, right? She sits on the board with individuals who decide what areas of the city have dilapidated buildings and businesses, and if something isn't done quickly, and I'll share this information. If something isn't done quickly, then those areas may suffer irreversibly. Some of the things they come up with is talk about where to build new neighborhoods and how those neighborhoods should look and how they should function. Business neighborhoods, and the people that should live there. Where should the apartments be? Where should the homes be? Where the new businesses should be located, what could possibly be a commercial district. It's dividing up the land, the zoning, dividing up the land. So what I'm saying is the people that make the decisions on your life, even down to where the businesses in your community are going to be built at, and what areas of your community are going to get funded. You pay taxes anyway. Your tax dollars are going to be used by the government, the local government. Right? The individuals that make these decisions, they aren't Waylon Washington somewhere, like unreachable, untouchable. I mean, you can find these people. You got a grievance with the police department, you can find Burby. You can find Assistant Chief Stanton. And you can voice your opinion to them. I have on several occasions. They are there. They are reachable. They are attainable. The individuals who are carving up the cities, doing the zoning, the business plans, they are here. Right? They are here. You can find them. You can voice your opinion. And we have to become active in the process. We have to become active in the process. And if you don't want to become active in the process, if you don't like voting, instead of throwing your vote away, throw your vote to me. Reach out to me on Facebook, Matthew Daniels. Or you can join my group, The Real Bookworm, on Facebook. Obviously, subscribe, follow me on YouTube, reach out to me. Because if you don't have an agenda, I guarantee that they have an agenda. But I also guarantee I have an agenda. And we need to push our collective agendas as one force. That is where the real power lies. You don't fight the power. Well, you fight the power, but you fight the power to become the power. These are regular men and women sitting down at the table making decisions on our lives. Now, either we can have some input on that, or we can become the individual that's sitting at the table making a decision on our lives. You are either at the table or you on the menu. And for too many years now, we have been on the menu. Now, I know some of you don't like voting. You're against voting. What does it mean? What does it matter? What does it count for? Hey, I'm not here to try to convince you. Well, I am, but I'm not going to spend too much time trying to convince you. But at the very least, check my track record. If you don't care about looking into who to vote for, if you don't care about votes and you feel like you shouldn't even vote and you ready to just throw your vote away, more power to you. But I'm going to say, instead of throwing it away, throw it this way. Don't throw it in the trash, throw it in my hands. Because I guarantee you, I fought my way to that table for you. I fought my way to that table for me. I fought my way to that table for our community, and so did my brother. And so did many others who stood with us. But I'm telling you, your boy's at the table. But being at the table is not enough. Your power comes from your constituents. Your power comes from the people who are willing to bag you up. Your word means something when you tell a city official, do A, B, and C, or else. And they understand that you have enough people behind you to make your or else effective. And you can take their job at the drop of a dime because they are elected officials. Right? So if you don't have an agenda of your own, just throw your vote to your boy. Because I do have an agenda. I guarantee I have an agenda. I wouldn't have made it this far without one. And so now's the time. Now's the time. We want to clean up the communities. We can do it. We want to clean up the police department. We can do it. We want to clean up the mayor's office. We want to clean up the city commissioner's office. We want to clean up the city councilman's office. We can do it. Because I know where they at. They right there. We just got to go sit down, be man enough to sit down across from them and tell them what we willing to accept and what we not willing to accept. Plain and simple. So what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew? It's always somebody that's going to make the decisions for your life. It might as well be you. Get at me. Join the movement. Get at me and just say, hey, you know what, Matt? You know what, a.k.a. Real Bookworm? You got my support. I'm not really into all this voting stuff, but I see what you're doing. I trust what you're doing. You got my support. And if you are, hey, I vote all the time. Let's come together. Let's talk about the needs of our community. Let's talk about what we want to get done. Let's come up with a collective agenda. You don't have to take my agenda. Let's sit down and talk about an agenda. And let's go and push that in mass. Give me 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 votes. 100 people behind me to move this political machine in our direction. To clean up our schools, to clean up our communities, to build up infrastructure and businesses. Stop begging. I marched and I protest to get at the table. Now that I'm at the table, it's time to present the agenda. We ain't no time. We ain't begging. We ain't asking. We ain't pleading. We demanding. It's always about demanding, but you can't demand without an agenda, because if you demand and you have no agenda, they're going to say, well, what do you want? And you humming. I know what I want. So ride with me. Ride with me, man. Ride with me. Clean up the community 2018.